Assalamu alaikum. This is Reyad Khan. My ID number is 211037153. Our today's topic is monetary policy. Now, I describe monetary policy. Overview of Bangladesh Bank's latest monetary policy. Summary of the monetary policy. Bangladesh Bank's monetary policy for the second half of financial year 24, announced in January 2024, adopts a contractionary stance aimed at controlling the country's persistent inflation, with inflation hovering at 9.48% in December 2023 and food inflation reaching record levels. The central bank set a target to bring inflation down to 7.5% by the end of June 2024. This policy aligns with the government's broader economic goal of 6.5% GDP growth for financial year 2024. The next tools used by Bangladesh Bank. Bangladesh Bank employs a range of monetary policy tools to implement its objectives. These include interest rate adjustment. The primary tools is the adjustment of policy rates, including the repo rate, reverse repo rate, and the standing lending facility rate. In financial year 24, the policy was increased by 25 basis points to 8%, while the SLF rate was reduced to 9.5%. Liquidity management. The central bank uses tools like the standing deposit facility (SDF) and assured liquidity support to manage liquidity in the financial system. Crawling page exchange rate. This is a newly introduced tools in the period by allowing the taka to fluctuate within a controlled range. Bangladesh Bank aims to curb excessive volatility in the foreign exchange market while gradually aligning the currency with market conditions. Reserve requirement and open market operations. Bangladesh Bank also uses reserve requirements and such as the sale and purchase of government securities to influence money supply and liquidity. Number three is the significant change compared to the previous policy. The key change in the financial year 24 monetary policy compared to the prior period include policy rate hike. The policy rate increased by 25 basis points to 8%, while the previous monetary policy also attempted to curb inflation through the rate hikes. The new policy narrows the rate corridor to tighten liquidity management further. Crawling page for exchange rate. One of the most notable exchange is the shift towards a crawling page exchange rate regime, making a departure from the previous strategy. This system is designed to allow controlled fluctuation of the Bangladeshi taka (BDT) against other currencies to reduce exchange rate volatility. Reduction in private sector credit growth. The target for private sector credit growth has been reduced from 11% to 10%, reflecting a more cautious approach to managing credit expansion. Suggested policy reforms. Based on the current economic challenges and the measure, Bangladesh Bank has introduced several reforms could be considered to enhance the effectiveness of the monetary policy. More aggressive rate hikes. The 25 basis point increase in the policy rate may not be sufficient to curb the high inflation, particularly since inflationary pressures stem from the supply side shocks and demand side issues. Strengthening forex reserves. While the crawling page system is a step in the right direction, it will require significant improvements in foreign exchange reserves to function effectively. Focus on structural reforms. Inflation control cannot rely solely on monetary policy. Structural reforms in the supply chain, agriculture, and energy sector are essential to tackle the root causes of inflation, such as raising food and fuel prices, improving credit allocation efficiency. While restricting private sector credit growth may control inflation, the central bank should focus on improving the efficiency of credit allocation, enhancing policy communication and transparency. Clearly communication about the central bank's objectives, particularly regarding the crawling page system and future interest rate adjustment, would help reduce uncertainty in the market. In conclusion, Bangladesh Bank's latest monetary policy reflects a concerted effort to address inflation and establish the exchange rate uh, amidst economic conditions. However, more decisive action and broader reforms may be required to achieve long-term stability and growth. This is our presentation, and thank you everyone. Thank you so much for listening me.